up, guys? Holding Alice with you here, bringing you That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime anime review. This was episode 21, titled Shizu-san's Students. We get to see all her students again, and they basically gave us the name with each one again, you know, like they did last episode. But last episode it was more like they called each other by their names, but we ain't really get like a full introduction. But this time we did. We got Kanye, which is the kid with the fire magic. We got Ryota, that's the kid with the short black hair who's like quiet. Then we got Gail, which is the tall kid. And then we get the two females. We got the chick with the blonde hair. The little girl, her name's Alice. And we get the other little girl with the black hair who looks just like Shizu. And her name is Ko, if I'm pronouncing it right. And Rimuru doing like attendant call, but they are ignoring him. So what he does is to get their attention and make them answer is that he summons Ragnar from his shadow, and he has them behind the kids just growling at them. So they get petrified and they have to answer his question. Then Kanye was like, "Hey, you can't use this mutt to scare us. That's unfair." And Ragnar just went up to him and licked him. He's like full of drool, looking like somebody dumped like water on him. And remember, we were just there laughing. He was like, "You shouldn't answer me." And then he told the students, "Well, for your first lesson, I'm gonna all give you our test." And they were all crying and complaining. "Oh, we hate tests. We never get a tests. The other humans just let us play all day." Which, like I said in my last video, I predicted that most likely these students don't know nothing, because since their lifespan is short, the teachers probably let them do whatever they want. And this episode solidified that the teachers were letting them do whatever they want. The only one who actually gave them time to teach them was Shizu when she had her free time. But now that she's gone, nobody's really taking that mantle. Until Rimuru now is stepping in for it. So these kids are used to acting wild and doing what they want. But of course with Rimuru, that's not going to go down that way. So he tested them, and the test was basically a one-on-one match against him. Each student has 10 minutes to fight him one-on-one, and if they can make him surrender or defeat him, then of course they passed. If not, they lost. And the first student was Kaya, and he was just going ham, just swinging his sword around like it was nothing. He had no form or anything. Of course he's a child, so it makes sense. But then after being upset for too long, he turned the sword, like the tip and or the whole, he basically made the whole sword, in flames. And then he just started shooting them at the teacher. And Rimuru was like, "You might want to learn how to control that." Then the time ran up. He lost. Then the next student we had was the kid with the short black hair, Ryota. And Ryota, we actually get to see his magic. And his magic is actually, in my opinion, the most interesting one there, because his magic is berserker magic. And basically he gets into a berserker state. And his strength and his smell and everything about him, it just heightened to the max. Rimuru even said it. If he was a regular human fighting him, this would be a good fight. He'll probably even dominate the human. And Rimuru didn't fight him. He just started dodging all his attacks until the 10 minutes were up. And that's how he won that battle. Then we also had the guy with the oldest one there, the Gale. He went up and he had bullet magic. But Rimuru ate that, and he was like, "Oh, no fair." And he was like, "Well, what else do you have?" And he beat him quickly. But now the two females are the two I want to get into the most, because they were very impressive. Alice and Cho. Alice, Rimuru even stated that she had the best magic so far. Her magic was golem magic, or puppeteer magic for those who plays other RPGs that may know the name better. Or puppet master magic. And basically she controls unanimate objects to fight for her. And she had 3 dolls, a bunny, a cat, and I believe the last one was a bear. But they were just stuffed animals. There wasn't really weapons, so remember we were just blowing them away and slapping them away, and it wasn't really doing nothing to him. And he did that for 10 minutes, and that's how he beat her. But he did say that she has the best magic so far, and probably the highest amount. Then Cho, or Choli, I should say, her magic was very interesting because she has water magic. And She starts off the battle by trapping Rimuru in a water bubble, and then she made blades in the water bubble, and they started spinning, and they started closing in on Rimuru. And she told him, Matt, if you don't quit, you're going to die. So can you please surrender? And Rimuru was like, oh my god, you're so scary for being a little girl. Unfortunately, this won't work on me. And he just ran right through the blades and everything. It was like, it was nothing. And she got shocked and stunned, and she lost as well. All the students lost, but the two females were the most impressive by far. And then after that, they were all crying and sad because, you know, they lost to Rimuru, and they were like, it's unfair and stuff like that. And it was just hilarious. But after that test, the next day he took them out for a picnic. But before they ate, he was like, let's test you out again. And he fought them again. But this time he had a manga up for a prize to whoever win. And a lot of these kids knew what the manga were. Because remember, these were summoners. So they got reincarnated over here. They didn't get reincarnated, but they got forced over here. So they know about manga and stuff, just like Shizu and the other kid. So they taught Shizu about that and stuff. So they got real hype, and they wanted to fight over the manga. But Gale, the oldest one, he didn't know what manga was, and he did state, I'm not really sure what Japanese anime or manga is about, but if you're competing for it, I compete for it. So most likely, he's probably the only one that's not from Japan, or maybe he has just no knowledge of it. But as they're talking about that, a dragon shows up, and it doesn't show up to fight Rimuru, but it shows up to the capital of Gracia, and it goes to attack it. So Rimuru he left his mask behind that from Shizu, which the kids, he showed that to them already as respect, that Shizu gave me this to take care of y'all. So that's why they started to respect him more. He took that out, and in the manga, he gave it to the kids, and he was like, stay here, Ragnar, watch him, and he goes, flies ahead of the creature, and he one-shots it easily. He even states, you're nothing compared to Kerberos. And he devours him and leaves. But the thing that made that one-shot unique is because the dragon was actually after somebody. And we see the guy is a fat guy and his bodyguard. And Ragnar saved the guy by killing the dragon. Even though his intention was just to save the city, not the guy himself. But later on, this guy ended up, taking him out for dinner. Now, Rimuru did state earlier in the episode with Trini that he was trying to find a way to get greater spirits. Because if he can find spirits as powerful as Ifri or stronger and put them into the kids, maybe they can learn how to control their summonings like Shizu did, and maybe they can live a longer life like she did. That way they won't have that 5-year limit of existing and then they burst. If they have a summoning in them, that summoning can take the power and control it, and then they can just find a way to control that. So it'd be like a control over control to keep it stable, if that makes any sense. Kind of like a battery, how they just two wires and the energies are going back and forth, and the batteries contain and like rope, but then that contained in a container, which has the name of the battery and where it's made from. So something similar to that, if that helps y'all. But unfortunately, Trini said that since the Queen of the Spirits were dead, but they don't know who the new one is or where her gravesite's at, she couldn't help him. But later on, when he helped this guy makes a deal with Rimuru to, make a trade business to where his settlement's at. And where this is going on, a blonde-haired chick that works for the guy, she blesses the kids with a prayer. And in that prayer, she says something about the spirits of the dwelling place. And that reminds Rimuru about his conversation with Trini. And she tells him everything, and he got very happy. So Rimuru gave her some money, a lot of money actually. They showed it was like he just kept on dropping gold from his hand. He just gave her a whole bunch. If she uses that money wisely, she probably never has to work again. But side note, that's just a side note. But putting this aside, the episode ends off with them going to this forest, and it's in the Republic of Gracia, which is in the North Park side of Gracia Kingdom. So that's where they basically are at now. That was the end of the episode. Then there is Rimuru, all 5 of the kids. All 5 of the kids, because there's 5 of them, 2 girls and 3 boys. All 5 of them, Rimuru and Ragnar. So all 7 of them are together as a party in this forest. And we did get the title for the episode of next week. It was called something with the labyrinth, dwelling in the labyrinth, I believe. So they're most likely gonna be finding a whole bunch of twists and turns and puzzles. But this was a really good episode of That Time Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 21. Sadly, we only have 3 episodes left of this series, because this series is supposed to be a one-course series, 24 episodes. So hopefully we get a second season as good as it's been doing, but only time can tell. But I'm very interested to see if he does find spirits to steal on these kids. What spirits are they going to have? Because Ifrit's a very well-known mythology creature, and he's been used in a lot of different games. You know, anyone who plays Grand Summoner or Brave Frontier, he's in there. I believe he was also mentioned in a Yu-Gi-Oh card. He switches his name around. His own mythology as well. You know, so Ifrit's a very well-known creature, especially anyone who's a fan of fantasy or Brave Frontier. You heard of him, so because he's in most of all those games. So it's very interesting to see that he's going to try to find spirits in that caliber or stronger to put into the kids, to use them as a core to keep the energy in the kids' control. That way, if they can control the kids' energy, the kids don't only have to control them. So that way they can live and they won't have that defect no more. Just like how Shizu was. So that's very interesting. I remember we came up with that theory. And hopefully it works, but we'll have to wait until next episode. But this was a really great episode, guys. But like, comment, share, subscribe. Give this video a like. Share with your family and friends. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so YouTube can let you know when, you know, when I post an upload, because sometimes they won't notify you. Tell me down below what you liked about the episode, if you've seen it. Tell me what you didn't like. And if you have not seen it, I advise you to see it. Really great episode, really great stuff. It's sad that we only have 3 episodes left, but hopefully we get that second season announcement soon. But that's all I have for you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.